exclusively released on the PS4 and PS5, the Little Big Planet spinoff Sackboy, A Big Adventure, developed by Sumo Digital and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, hit the PC gaming world on October 27th. More akin to Tearaway or Super Mario 3D World instead of its previous endeavors, this 3D platformer shines in its creative level design, co-op gameplay, and especially its charm. This is Geeks with Kids. I'm Eric. Joining me is Shouse, and today we're reviewing Sackboy, A Big Adventure on the PC. So in like the middle 2000s to late 2000s, Sackboy was really like vying for that top mascot spot in the PlayStation stratosphere. It was like massively popular. You could see Sackboy in all the commercials, all because of this little game called LittleBigPlanet. There were three of them, two on the PS3, LittleBigPlanet 1 and 2, and then LittleBigPlanet 3 on the PS4. So I'm going to ask you, Shouse, how familiar are you with the franchise, and were you a fan of it?
So I picked up the original LittleBigPlanet day one. I remember going and buying that at Best Buy day one. Very exciting. And one of the things I remember about the first LittleBigPlanet game was that it was a great way to get into arguments with people while you were trying to play like co-op with them. Like, make the jump, come on, what are you doing? Try again.
It's that right? It's that arguing you get when you're doing like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Like you gotta jump now, jump it, jump.
Yeah. Oh no, you died. Oh no, we gotta do it again. No.
Yeah. But it was fun. Like it had that really, it was really unique. It had that crafty feeling that it's really known for. It's all made out of yarn and everything looks like it's all made out of paper, and it's like you playing at home with, if you didn't have toys, you just had paper and crafts, right?
Now did it lead to that sort of push for those like the Yoshi games with the wool, and there was the whole Paper Mario and all that stuff? Like there was
Mario came before.
Yeah.
But, this does look like Yoshi's Yarn World though, right?
Yeah, like it's got that kind of feel like that where you can really almost feel the texture while you're playing it, which is really neat. And I think that this game also had the community level development, right? Like the LittleBigPlanet became big for its community level development. The first thing they somebody started creating like one right away from Mario Brothers, because it's the first thing people like to make.
The original idea with LittleBigPlanet and its focus was play, create, and share. That was all of its marketing things. So you could play the whole game. It came with levels. There was a whole story, but they also
Stephen Fry, right? Didn't Stephen Fry do the narrating?
Exactly, he did. And then they really pushed for the create part and sharing this. So they had a whole set of creator tools, and they would help the community. They really built this big community about building levels and sharing it. It's sort of what that Mario Maker ended up becoming.
Yeah. It was like, there were games before that came out for the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo where it was like, hey, create your own levels, create your own
Bike, but nothing really to the amount of tools that you got in this game. Like this was, you could build an official level. Like it was exactly the same. You had all the assets, you had all the music, you had all the sound effects. And really,
and people could play your level. You could share it,
and then you could review it, and you can say. And I think this was the one where you could build levels, and you didn't necessarily have to be able to beat it, but you had to publish it, right? Like Mario Maker added that bit where they're like, you have to be able to play the level so we can publish it. Like that was a smart move.
If you can't finish the level, nobody else is going to.
Exactly. Did anything else draw you to the franchise? Like you originally said, it was the look of it. Was it like the characters or the feel? Like the marketing was amazing for me.
The cuteness, and I'm gonna guess that you have a Sackboy somewhere.
I do.
I do not, and I wish I did. I was actually, after playing this Sackboy game, I went on Amazon looking for Sackboy plushies. Couldn't find anything.
Yeah, so the only one that I know of, I got when I bought the special edition of LittleBigPlanet, I want to say 2.
Okay.
It came with bookends and a plushie. The bookends I have on my shelf somewhere over there. Yeah. But the plushie's up with my kids. The kids like used to sleep with it and stuff. And that's really like Sackboy, the design, the cute design of it was what really drew me to the game. And that's why I played all three of them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was that goofy, like playful style. It felt like, it feels like to play with my kids now. So yeah.
And I mean, it's been hard to really find. I mean, we've talked about this on this show before, but hard to find games that are really good to play with your kids nowadays, right? Like, I've always played games with my kids, like the Lego games, like the various Lego Marvel superheroes, Lego Star Wars. I found those were excellent. The Mario games, and now Little Big Planet, because it's appropriate for like a family to play together.
Exactly, and that's why I bought Sackboy's A Big Adventure on PS5 originally, was because we didn't have any games to play with the kids. So I bought it, and I bought 2 extra controllers so that I could play with my eldest and my wife. My middle child was a little bit too young at the time. She was like 2 or 3 when we bought the game. So she was like, I don't know what to do here. And even then, like, this game scales up pretty fast, like in the difficulty. So even then,
for sure,
I'd get a controller from my daughter and be like, you play this. I'm like, I can't, there's 2 controllers. Like I said earlier, the focus for Little Big Planet was on play, create, and share. And while Sackboy comes from that world, this game really sheds those aspects for a 3D platformer feel. This game actually is divided into and expanded into this entire world with 6 realms, each having its own artistic aesthetic. The Soaring Summit is the first one, is based on the Himalayas. Then you move to the Colossal Canopy, which is based on the rainforest. The Kingdom of Crablantis is underwater, obviously. Then we go to Interstellar Junction, which is space themed. And then the Center of Craft World, which is this Stranger Things-esque upside down version of Craft World. It's really, really cool.
Really cool.
And within each of these realms, every single level is designed to look like this meticulously crafted diorama, sort of like their other hit Tearaway, where you and, like I said earlier, up to 3 friends, so 4 of you total, you get to run around defeating enemies, gathering bubbles and bells, and then you're searching for collectibles. What did you think of this design choice, like the move away from play, create, and share to this platformer thing that's more like a Mario-esque game?
I like the focus. I really do. I feel like the thing with the original Little Big Planet games is I wasn't quite sure all the time what they were trying to be. Are they trying to be a platformer? Or are they trying to be this creation tool? I kind of like the idea that they're focused in on a platform adventure, and they were able to put all of their efforts into making that a smooth experience to play. I love your comparison to Tearaway, because I didn't even think about that while I was playing this, but I remember that game on the Vita, and I loved how you could put your finger on the bottom part of the Vita, and it would, like, you could make the characters jump up in the air and stuff just by touching. Like that's a good comparison. Like, it's kind of got that above view as well. But I do like the focus of this. I think that I've had more fun playing Sackboy than I think I have with any of the previous Little Big Planet games.
Did you like I loved it as well, obviously. Did you like the variety of enemies, like how they designed each world? Each world was a little bit different. Like, there are different goals in each one, but it was all you had to get to the end, but the in between is where the variety happened. And then obviously all of the collecting stuff, which I am a big fan of collecting stuff. The fact that they had a sticker book made me want to get every single sticker.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay, I have 2 ways to play this game. I can just go through all the levels and finish the game, or I'm going to go back and make sure that I get all of the collectibles in each level, which would make would take whatever amount of hours you're going to spend with this game, and triple, quadruple the number of hours, because it's true, like, there's stuff hidden. I remember going through a level, and the little cloud with the little blue dots that tells you when you've received the things you need to get throughout the level, and I remember seeing, like, the second or third one would pop up first, and I'd be like, I missed one already. Like, oh, no. I gotta go back and I gotta replay the level.
I also, like, originally when I played this, I was just like, okay, we'll get the amount of bubbles I need to move to the next section, because like in Mario, you had to have a certain amount of those bubbles or stars.
Stars,
so that you can proceed into a further section of the level. So we would make sure we do that. But once I got to the end of the game, I was looking back at the game, and you'd see all these empty bubbles, and because you can see it from the world map, you're just like, oh, that one hurts. I know I can get it. So you just go back and plus they added all those time trials, like the knitted night trials. So, and those also match up with your friends. So you get the timed list and you see your friends get a little bit better and you're like, oh, well, I can't let them go faster than me. Right.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's really the way that game development is going these days, is like, you want to make sure that because of how much time, effort, and money goes into developing these games, that there's a lot more to do rather than just finish the levels and then put the game in the box and put it up on your shelf.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
okay, I've cleared the game. I'm ready to go back and get all the collectibles. I want to go back and get the time trials done. I want to see if I can beat my friend's scores, all that kind of stuff. Like, it just gives it more replayability.
Exactly. Like, first time, play with my kids. Second time, me to get everything, because I must have everything.
Must have it all.
They really did get rid of all that all the create stuff, except they added this section called Zoom, and it's this little character who, you get to buy costumes with, because you get all these bells throughout the levels, and that's your currency in the game, and you spend that currency on costume pieces or full costumes. And because it's the PC port, you start the game with a number of PlayStation exclusive costumes already. So you have
it was so awesome.
And with God of War just coming out, they released God of War, Kratos, Atreus, and Freya. But they also have Nathan Drake. They have the guy from Death Stranding.
I think I played through most of the game with the Nathan Drake
Did you?
look on my character.
I played with I loved, because of the PC port again, they also released an exclusive PC skin, which is you dressed up as a computer. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that one? That one.
I don't think I saw that one.
It's very cute. It's on there already, unless you didn't download the DLC. I'm pretty sure it's there.
Okay.
When you start. But I loved going in there, getting every single costume. Also, if you hit a certain point level in a level, you get a costume piece. So that was again another part of replayability. So, like any good PC game, you can control this game with a keyboard and mouse. But if you really wanted to get the experience of playing this, you would wire in your DualShock, or your DualSense controller to your computer, and wired is the way you had to go so that you get the full functionality of the DualSense. I wish I had a DualSense right beside me, but I don't. And the thing about the DualSense controller, the PS5 controller, is that it had haptic controls and there's a speaker on it. So it really utilized all these features. I used it, but I know, Shos, you didn't get a chance to. Because you played on a different format, I played it on a different format, which we will talk about later. What was amazing is that it gave you the same feel as on the PS5. So you got all the haptic controls, you got all the rumble, but you also got all the sound effects coming out of the actual controller. So whenever you picked up a bell, or if you got hurt, I can't think of other examples, but it utilized it really well. Much like what was that game that came along with the PS5?
Astro's right? Playground. Yeah.
This is one of those games that utilizes the DualSense really well. Yeah. So you should try it, Shos, because it's really fun.
Yes. And you know what? I think I can actually link that up with the platform that I played this on.
But you'd have to wire it in. You'd have to wire it in. Yeah. Well, probably it's USB-C, so I wouldn't see why not. Don't do it now, because we're talking about one of the best parts of the LittleBigPlanet franchise, and obviously this game as well, and that's the music. Because really, this franchise is always, for me, it's not always about the gameplay, but it's about its use of music. And Sackboy really does that at a really high level. It's composed by Winifred Phillips, and the music continues to charm, it continually charms me the whole game. But it also uses some of the best licensed music for some really unique levels. Shos, what did you think of the music in this game?
Okay, so when that licensed music came in, it kind of blew my mind.
So the first one is Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk.
Little Uptown Funk, which was awesome. I I always like it when games sort of, try to, I mean, movies do it all the time, but now that, we get games that are adding in some pop culture references, and you can have a little bit of fun with stuff like that. Wasn't there a Madonna song on there as well?
Yep, there's Material Girls.
Yeah.
They had a Trolls song. The other one that really hit the mark for me was Britney Spears' Toxic. Because that happens later. Actually, you know what's funny is that on the stream, I think we're about to get me playing that level very badly. Not Toxic, but the Bruno Mars one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just play it in the background, like it's actually integrated into the level. So there are sections of the songs or motifs that will run with, characters popping up on screen, or you jumping onto a new area. Like, it was such a well done use of music. I love this. This soundtrack is now on my playlist so that I can listen to it in my car. Actually, it is. There it is. There's the Uptown Funk version, the PC version on the left, and the PS5 version on the right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a fun level.
It's such a good way of using music, and mad props to Winifred Phillips for all even just the incidental music, because it's all this happy, like, I don't want to say serene, but it's like this. It's charming. This whole game, I know I say that a lot, but this franchise is stupid charming the whole time.
And that's okay, because I think sometimes we need that.
Yeah.
We have plenty of everything else, right?
Exactly.
So a little bit of charming is kind of a palate cleanser for all of the, death and destruction and ripping heads off and all that kind of stuff.
That's tomorrow's review when we talk about God of War, right? The Rock. But
if you think about like platforming games in general, like some of the oldest games, like, well, the games that have been around the longest have been platformers, right? And this idea that this genre can still exist in 2022. But you're not going to create Super Mario Brothers. You're not going to create games that existed back then. You need to build and iterate and grow on the formula. And so, what kind of things can you do with a platform game to really make it interesting? And integrating music and integrating touch controls and integrating haptic feedback and all kinds of stuff like that will take sort of a well-known genre of gaming and just sort of make it fresh and keep you excited. That's one of my favorite things about this game, is that every level just felt different. Like, it didn't really feel like you were just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Exactly.
I play plenty of games where you do repeat things over and over again, like shiny hunting for Pokemon. That takes forever.
Or Disney Dreamlight Valley, same thing over and over again.
Same thing. Animal Crossing. I've got like 500 hours in Animal Crossing. Yeah. But like a game where it's like, here is your experience. Here is the level. Have some fun with it. Enjoy what we've given to you for this level. Enjoy the music. Enjoy the style. And when you're finished, try the next level, and it's got something new for you.
It really makes you want to play the next level, because you have so much fun finishing a level, like going through it and finishing it. And you're just like, man, I just want to hear what's next. Both the gameplay, the music, and the graphics, all of it, like, it comes into like this amazing package for this game, because it's fun. It's just pure fun to play through this. So,
for sure,
because this is a review, we should probably talk about actual technical things like the graphics. We talked about gameplay already, but graphics are really what people, sort of, they go towards that when you're thinking about like a port. Like, people like, how, if you're bringing it to computer, how good does it look? For review's sake, I played it on my computer, which is a AMD Ryzen 7 5800X. I have a what's my video card? I have the RTX 3070. I have 32 gigs of RAM. Like, my computer is no slouch. It should play this game pretty well. What about you, Shos? What did you play it on?
Okay, so my computer is very similar to yours, except I have a much older video card. Like, I believe it's an AMD Radeon. I don't even know. Like something from Oh my goodness, yeah. It's nothing current
Mm.
in any way. And so I installed it with that. I did not have a great experience with that. So in my case, running this beautiful game on old hardware, even though I had a nice CPU, a lot of RAM and everything in my machine, it wasn't the greatest experience for me. I actually ended up playing this game on my Steam Deck.
Mm.
And so I installed this game on the Steam Deck, and I enjoyed sort of tweaking it, playing around with it a little bit, trying to get the best the best frame rates and everything out of it, and following some tutorials I found on the internet, just some communities that really focus on making the Steam Deck games look amazing. This game looked gorgeous on the Steam Deck, and it was great to play anywhere, sit on the couch and play it, sit in bed and play it. It just looked beautiful on the screen.
We'll get more into the Steam Deck in a second, but I'm going to talk about my experience on the PC. I'm actually going to play Steam Deck footage right now while I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, for me, it was a fine experience. It was fun playing. Like it nothing hindered me playing. Like nothing made me fall off cliffs other than old age and bad. A bad sense of direction. But I noticed a lot of stuttering throughout the game, and at the specs that I was running it, there should not be stuttering in this game at all. And then
right.
From what I read online about ports, because this happens on a couple of console to PC ports. It happened a little bit in Uncharted. And a little bit in Spider-Man, but there's a lot of render cache, shader cache slowdown or stuttering.
Yeah.
And like when you watch the footage, like it was on the stream just a couple of seconds ago, you'll notice that it's running smoothly, but occasionally you'll stutter, and it's not enough for me to fall off, but it does get annoying, especially when you know that your computer is good enough that it shouldn't be. Stuttering at any time, and it happened during cutscenes too, which is even more weird, because cutscenes are the thing that you're just like it shouldn't be an issue.
And the production value of this game, you're expecting this game to play buttery smooth. Exactly. Like that's what you want. That's what you want to see. It looks so gorgeous on the screen. You want to make sure that it's playing that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not seeing that on the PC version that you're playing it on, then maybe it requires a little bit of tweaking.
For sure. Like, and I would tweak a little bit here and there. It ran a little bit smooth, but like even on the overworld map, you get stuttering, and I'm like, the place that has the least amount of shaders still getting a bit of stuttering. There's some optimization issues. That being said, I did really like it. So let's move over to the Steam Deck, because I did also play it on the Steam Deck as well, and it ran a bit smoother than my PC, oddly enough. And I didn't end up tweaking my Steam Deck to do it. I just went with the verified settings that they released. This is a Steam Deck verified game, so I played it. Same with Uncharted. Like Uncharted runs flawlessly on my Steam Deck. It's crazy. Like,
oh yeah, that little machine's a beast.
It blows my mind that we're able to play these console games like handheld on my bed or in my bathroom when I'm just it's amazing. How was your play experience? Like the controls are they're pretty standard, like they feel good. I missed the rumble and there's a speaker on there, so I would have liked to hear some of the all of that little bits of fine flourishes that you would get in the DualSense. But I guess it's only a stereo speaker, so you can't really control where that audio goes,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't try it with headphones on. I don't know if it would play differently with headphones on the Steam Deck, but it was a really nice experience. I also played it at first with the verified settings, and then I did some tweaking, and I was able to get a solid like 40 frames per second. Like
I was getting close to 60 on my Steam Deck. Definitely always 30. But
there was like I was able to sort of lock it in at 40, and it didn't really budge from that. But when I was getting 60, it was fluctuating back and forth a little bit. Either way, it was really easy to control. I didn't get any of that fun haptic feedback stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna need to go back and play around with the DualSense a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was a fun portable experience. Now the problem with the portable experience is you start to lose some of the multiplayer stuff that the game comes with.
It's only some of it.
Right?
Because you can still play online with randos.
Yeah, but
don't
like
do.
I was looking at the game with my daughter, and first thing she says to me is, "Oh, this is just like Astro's Playground." So and that was one of her favorite PS5 games, and so because we were playing this on the handheld, it was like, okay, well, let's just take turns, you know. But I feel like if I was able to play it on my PC or on a TV screen, I'd probably be able to do some of that local co-op. So you sort of lose a little bit of that with the Steam Deck, but if you're playing by yourself, it's a fine experience.
This makes me want to get a Steam Deck dock and just put it on my TV and like see how it works with the Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I wonder what it would look like, sort of, pushing out sort of a higher resolution through the dock.
Yeah, agreed. Well, maybe something we'll addend in a future episode. So we talked about pretty much the whole game, and you sort of mentioned it where you played it with your daughter. What else did she think of the game? I'll talk about how my family reacted to the game as well.
Yeah, she had a lot of fun with it because it did remind her of Astro's Playground and like Super Mario 3D World, games like that, games that she was familiar with. She was able to just pick up and go. There wasn't a steep learning curve or anything. It felt very intuitive and easy to just hop in and play. She had a little bit of trouble with some of the jumping. It wasn't as precise as some of the other games that she's played.
Agreed.
And so she was worried about like when she would try to jump on an enemy, sometimes she'd be a little bit off. So I feel like that's maybe a bit of a learning curve, sort of figure out. And I mean, LittleBigPlanet always had kind of a floaty jump.
Yeah,
I mean, the original LittleBigPlanet.
They still have the same jump, which it always confused me because that was always something that people would complain about was the floaty jump.
Well, that was the jump that would get people into fights.
That's true.
Make the jump. Come on. What are you doing?
It's true.
But yeah, she had a lot of fun playing it, and I think she wants to play more.
Good.
And so I'd like to give her that opportunity to do that. Because when she would be like, "Hey, can I play?" I'd be like, "Well, no, I'm playing right now. Go away.
Get out of here! I'm playing right now."
Right, I got lots of games for her to play. Let me play this one first.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I definitely think this is a very accessible and fun game for kids to play.
It's definitely like now that my daughters are a little bit older, it's a lot easier. Like Kateri and Liar have both played this, and they're both pretty good at it. Like you said, the controls aren't as precise as a Mario game or whatnot like that. Like it's hard jumping from platform to platform, especially when you're going at a fast rate, because sometimes you can't tell where you're jumping. And like my monitor isn't that small. It's big enough that, but not even, it's not just them. Like I do the same thing. Like I fall off as well. But it is a fun game. Like and because it's not a scary game or anything too incredibly hard at first, it's a fun game to play with someone that's small. The difficulty increases as you get to like the later levels, and especially when you get to the 6th world. That's where it really is hard. But I think this is a great family game. This is a game that causes laughter amongst my kids, and that's what I really just want. Like it doesn't matter if we die going through it, because the fun is being had at that time.
Yeah, and it's also not that unforgiving. Exactly. While you're playing, like, if you make a mistake or something, it's not going to say, okay, well, game over, start over again from level 1.
Exactly.
Right. It gives you a little bit of a chance. Like it knows that, if you're playing with people of different experience levels, different skill levels, you can still have a good time. You
have finite lives in a level, but not for the whole game, which is awesome. Did you I guess you didn't get a chance to play any of there's multiplayer exclusive levels where it's purely co-op. Like you have one person do one side of the map or one side of the screen while the other person does the other side of the screen. It's really fun. Like you should check it out when you have a chance.
No, that sounds amazing. And I mean, that might be good as part of this review to mention that, if you are planning on playing it single player, there may be some content that you might not experience.
Yeah.
And if that happens, maybe dig up a friend or a family member to join you for those experiences.
You could also play online. There's the play online feature, which is not set to on as when you jump in the game. You have to turn it on when you're in the game, so you don't just have randos come into your game.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think we've covered most of this game. Are there any final thoughts you want to say about this game?
I want to play this on PS5 now. I like the version. I like the PC version. I love just the fact that some of these great franchises are appearing on PC as well, just to sort of give a new audience to. But I love my PS5 as well, and now that I know sort of the dual sense sort of options and stuff, I wouldn't mind giving it a try on that platform as well. But the idea that a game like this could play so well on a Steam Deck, just could run and you can play it, sort of streamed through like Steam. Like when I played this game on Steam, you can sort of load it up on your computer or on your Steam Deck, and you can stream it to another device like a laptop or an iPad and play it on that. It's just kind of neat that you have this ability to play these games all over the place now. But it was like I said before, a palate cleanser. It was just nice, clean fun. Put a smile on your face while you're playing it. It could sometimes get a little bit frustrating, but that just means you just got to keep on trying, right? Yeah. And those were the games that we grew up with.
Yeah. This isn't as unforgiving as like Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers, right? This is like I love the LittleBigPlanet franchise so much, and this spinoff is probably one of my favorites. Like this is one of the best parts of the LittleBigPlanet, like the whole franchise,
the cinematic universe,
the
multiverse, whatever we want to call it.
Well, the best thing about this game is that they may have taken out the create and the share, but like the other games, it's still as charming and incredibly fun to play. The co-op experience is bar none like one of the best on the PC and the PS5. And sure, it's not as precise. Like the jumping isn't as precise as a Mario game, or even as Tearaway. But it's definitely one that shouldn't be missed. Like this is a platformer that platformer gamers should play. If you had to give this a rating out of 10, what would you give it?
I would go with a 8.5.
Nice. I was gonna go with an 8.5 as well. So,
hey, all right.
That's a great thing. I love this game, and thanks to Sony for providing us with a review code so that we could try this game out and let you guys know what to think about it. It's available on Steam and I believe on Epic Game Store. You have to connect to your Epic account on PC, which I think is a little weird, but
I think they should make more of these. I think this was this spinoff was a resounding success.
Yeah,
and I think that I hope it will lead to more Sackboy adventures to come.
I want them both on PS5 and on PC. I will probably get both if it happens. I very much enjoy every single title that Sony has released on the PC side, so I'm happy. Miles Morales just came out 2 days ago, I think. So I still got to get that. I platinumed it on PS5, but I want it. I still want it on PC, so I can play on my Steam Deck in my bed.
For sure.
So thank you, Sony, for providing that code. Thank you, Shows, for coming on and talking about Sackboy: A Big Adventure. This was fun game. Don't miss out on it. It's available now on PC, PS5, and I think PS4 as well. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you another time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.